welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. This is your home to learn how to play guitar and mandolin, but this week is Banjo Week. I had a request on the forums to teach an advanced melodic version of Old Joe Clark, and that's what we're going to do. What's really cool about this is you can just take a measure or two out of this version and put it in together with your traditional version, the one that you like to play, and just immediately spice it up. There's some good ones that not only work in Old Joe Clark, but work all over the place. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to the site. You can join as a GoPick member, have access to all these hundreds of lessons. If you're already watching on the site as a GoPick member, you have everything you need right here on this page. You got your tabs down there, the rest of the video segments. You got your JamTrack MP3s that you can practice along with. Without further ado, let's jump right into Old Joe Clark melodically. Let's learn a melodic version of Old Joe Clark. Now this was really cool because you can grab a lot of the licks out of there and immediately just throw it right into your version of Old Joe Clark and spice it up. But we're in the key of A. Standard tuning, we're just going to keep up to the 2nd fret, and then our 5th string we'll spike it at the 7th. As we throw up our first line of tab there, nothing super special about this kickoff. Until the very end, I want you to notice that I grabbed these notes up here at the 5th and 6th fret. Yes, I know it's really the 7th and 8th, but I'm going to talk like we don't have a capo on. I think it's clearer that way. So now, what's interesting about that is that those two notes are more easily, you might think about grabbing them down here on the 1st and 2nd fret. But that's what we do in melodic playing. We're going to grab a lot of these notes like this note and this note and this note, and we're going to find different ways to play them so that we can begin to build these patterns. Okay. So we're going to start off there to walk into this first A part and already be in the position that we need to be in. That brings up the next line of tab. It sounds like this. Now here's the thing. I'm going to be subjective with this fingering. I didn't label the left hand or the fret hand fingering on here because you can watch what I do, but you can also do what's most comfortable. But let me give you a tip about the right hand fingering. I'm going to use my thumb every place that I can use it. and if you'll watch back to the performance, you'll see my thumb and my middle finger doing a whole lot of dancing. And my index finger will just go in there every once in a while, just whenever I have to. Because I'm faster, I'm more accurate with my thumb, and it's just easier to use it. I like the feel that I'm able to get with it. So anytime we have a 1st string, 2nd string, and back to 1st, I'm going to drop down and use my thumb on that string. Now as far as our positions for this first part goes, I'm going to play the 6th fret with my ring finger, and then I'm going to jump up to this position, 5 and 3, using ring and index. And then as we walk down to measure 8, now I can use my middle finger above there, and then I can either use my ring down here on the 7th or my pinky. So measure 7 and 8 sound like this. If I did it up to speed. Okay. Now the same thing in measure 9. Almost. I'm going to jump down to the 6th fret, and you either use your pinky or your ring. And the trick, the strategy that I'm using here is I'm always going to try to use the strongest fingers that I can whenever I'm playing melodic banjo. But I don't want to go too far up. I don't want to always grab with my index finger, which is my strongest, if I know that I'm going to have to go this way really soon. Okay, so I want to use whichever is my strongest finger while also having the fingers behind it that I need to access the frets I'm going to use. So that means I'm going to use my middle finger a lot so that I have my index finger free behind it. That's just a little bit of strategy. And if you haven't ever played melodics or you want to get better at it, be sure and check out my Intro to Melodics lesson here on this site. This whole line. And then we'll play it all together really slow later on. Measure 11, we're going to have some repeating. Now that's a little different measure 12. And I'm going to shift all the way up because I know that that's all the fingers I need. Then leave it down. I like to leave that 7th fret down going into 13 so that it continues to ring. Okay, so think about it this way. If you were playing your regular old scruggs style version, and you wanted to throw in some of these licks, you could do that. So you can just throw in a measure or two of this melodic stuff in the midst of your scruggs style, and it really, really spices it up. As we look at the second A part, we're going to get a little bit more chromatic. So we're going to get outside the major scale. We're going to work some of these half steps in between the notes that we would normally play over a G major scale. I know it's A with the capo, but you know what I mean. Okay. And the way we're going to do that, we got to be quick with our left hand. Measure 15 sounds like this. Now, I'm shifting this whole position down. You got to do that quickly, succinctly, so that you have the notes clear. I will also sometimes do it by shifting individual fingers so that measure 15 will look like this. Watch closely. See what I did? You may choose to do it that way, or we're going to be doing this move a lot, so and we might do it different ways throughout the song, but measure 17 is the same one. Almost. This time we're going to shift down, and this is a little tougher because I want that C note, and I'm going to grab it with my pinky at the end of measure 17. Pretty cool, huh? So the whole line. Again, we see this. This time, leave it there in 19. You can make a note on your tab to leave it there and shift back up for 20. And then we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to see this lick a couple different times. We've already seen it in measure 13. Okay, so we're through our first two A parts. What we're going to do now is we're going to play through what we've learned so far all together really slowly, and then we'll check out the B parts and the ending as well.